Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today, as you can see in my thumbnail and in our title, we will be making our own seasoning.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
I've always wanted to do this, and being in the country, you start to realize that there are certain things you just don't want to be buying all the time, and you just experiment and see what you can do. So I got on that, and I'm going to be doing two methods, not one method but two methods of making your seasoning. So of course I am starting by peeling my onions. So I'll be using onions just to add to this seasoning. To make this seasoning, I'll be using onion, garlic. We bought the onion and the garlic because we don't yet grow that. However, we got the scallion, the thyme, and the oregano from our garden. In the first method, I did not add the scallion. I added the oregano, you'll see, and the rosemary. Right, those were the two things, rosemary and the oregano, or French thyme or Cuban thyme, like some other people may call it. While in the second method, I used the scallion. Right, so I was just kind of playing around with it and everything. So I am peeling my onions, and I don't know about you, but when I peel the onions, they make my eyes burn, right? And I tried this thing that they said you can like peel the back, you can like peel the onion with and keep in the back intact so that the sulfur doesn't come out. Apparently it's the sulfur that burns your eyes or pulls, makes you cry or whatever. Anyways, I'm never successful at that, and I am now doing the garlic. And of course, mommy is washing. It's a team effort, and that's what I love about being a blended family. It's such a great team effort. She got the oregano and the rosemary for me, and she's washing that for me. And here, you just have to cleanse these things because the oregano runs on the ground and they're outside. So we just have to get them very clean. Also, please note that I didn't throw away the skin of the onion and the garlic. We're going to be saving that and using that for later for our vegetable stock. I didn't want to be cutting these things by my hand, so I used my vegetable cutter or dicer or whatever the name is. I will aim to put the prescription. I'll aim to put the description and put the name of it in the description along with a link. It just made the process so much easier to cut these up, and of course it reduced my eyes from running and burning, etc, etc. So yeah, then of course I placed them in my jars just to like compartmentalize them, and I just wanted to see how much it really was. I think the jar would give me a better understanding of how it was diced, like to say, okay, this is X amount, because I know how much the jars hold, Now I've compartmentalized them and I'm gonna place them on my cooking paper. That's what I'm gonna be using to place it on my pan here that I have. I'm gonna be lining it with the paper, right? And then after I line it with the paper, I'll just pour them out and spread them out as much as possible. And this is the first method. The first method is in the oven. Now, I've done this before. It didn't turn out right, but I felt as though the oven might have been high. So now I'm gonna put the oven on the lowest setting ever. And we're gonna see, plus I was using another oven. So I'm gonna try and see how it goes. And you will see with me what it turned out to be, all right? So I just pour it on and I just lay it out and you're just watching me do that process. And I laid it out as flat as I possibly could. And I used this paper to reduce the sticking, of course. So yeah. And this is what it looks like spread out. My camera wasn't focusing so well. I apologize for that. But this is what it looks like. Simple, just literally onion, garlic, and you know, the green herbs diced up. And then we will go and put it in the oven at the lowest setting until it all dries out. This is me prepping my ingredients for the second method that I'm going to use to get my seasoning, which of course you can see I'm going to use my dehydrator. And I've cut up my onions, and I didn't bother to use the grinder this time because it wasn't so many onions. So I'm gonna do my onions and I'm gonna do the scallions that I showed you earlier, right? That's what I'm trying to show you here, right? So I've placed them on the dehydration trays, which also have the sheets. And we're gonna just allow it to dehydrate at the highest temperature that's there, because you know, first of all, this is plastic, so the manufacturer wouldn't make it to burn itself up. So I just chose the highest setting. I'm just showing you what the dehydration sheet looks like. I feel like I should have cut it. I need to maybe measure them and cut it, you know. And on the lowest setting in the oven, people, in the oven, this is exactly what came out. While this is what came out of the dehydrator. And this is not the first time I've done that. I told you before that I did it in the oven, but every single time it burns. So I see that for me, my preferred way of making my own homemade seasonings without all the preservatives and additives is going to be the dehydrator, definitely. And there are ways to make your own dehydrator, by the way, and have it sun dried and all of that. I'm not at that level, but I like the dehydration method, definitely. So I'm just really, you know, now putting them together, the one that was made in the oven versus the one that was made or dried in the dehydrator. And this is the thing, I told you I've done it before in the oven and it burnt, but my mom still used it as the seasoning and it was perfectly fine. My mom used it as the seasoning and it was good still. Like, it made the food have a little smoky taste, I guess, but it was good. If you could hear this, I don't know, I lost the sound of this video, but if you could, it's so crispy and dry. Trust me, and it smelled so good too. It smelled so good. The aroma was lovely. So yeah, this is what we have, and then we're gonna make it into powder. Okay, let's grind up this dried dehydrated seasoning and see what we come up with. So I feel like it was hot and I should have let it cool a bit, but man, it was late and I wanted to go to sleep, so I just got on with it because it was hot. And you could see it turning into powder there. For me, it doesn't have to be pulverized because either way, you know, it's going to go in the pot and it's going to be cooked out. So yeah, I just, you know, grounded it a little bit and got it to where I felt it was okay. It was sticking, and I think it was sticking. It wasn't wet, so I think it was sticking maybe because of the heat. I don't know. But either way, grounded it up, and then I placed it in one of the jars. You'll see that very soon. As you can see, grounded, not very fine, sticking together. I, you know, did some research and it was talking about the fact that onion generally, when you do it at home, it will stick together, and you could use cornstarch to help to separate the grains or whatever, or the powder. For me, I was fine. It wasn't an issue, or the granules. I was fine. I was like, it doesn't matter to me. We're not doing it for aesthetics anyways, you know. And I just place it in my jar just to show you that I did less in the dehydrator. I had so much faith in the oven, even after my first attempt. But I did it in the dehydrator, and of course I love it more in the dehydrator. It's strange because my mother prefers the other method, the oven method. So we're going to do the one in the oven now, and we're going to grind it up, and we're going to see how that turns out. And we still use the both of them. That's the thing. We still use the both of them, meaning the grounded method, the grounded one we still use the both of them, meaning the one from the oven and the one from the dehydrator. It still flavors the food very well, but then when I'm going to do it again large scale, I'm going to definitely just go with my dehydrator. I'm not going to stress myself to waste the gas and all of that. I will just plug it in and dehydrate it. Here I am doing the most and over, you know, filling the blender cup. Mercy. Now the point is, even though this is a bit burnt, it still can be used. That's what I'm saying. And you can do this too. You can ensure that your family is getting all the right ingredients, even in your seasonings, right? A lot of times they use different chemicals to separate the grains or the powder of the seasonings, and you don't know what that is and what that's doing, you know, to your body. This is so easy. This is so simple. Trust and believe. You can simply just do this. Very, very easy. So definitely start making your own seasonings. You just, you know, carve out the time. Trust me, I don't have a lot of time. But you carve out the time and you do it for your family, and your bodies will be so, so happy. You don't have anything strange or hidden in the ingredients, you know. And I just pulverize it again. So you can see that the steps for these both methods, so easy to follow. You dehydrate them, you chop them up, You place them in whatever dehydration tool you're going to use, and then you grind them up. It's as simple as that. Quick one too. And then because it's something that you can do while you are at work, in the house or something, you know, you're washing clothes or something, you just leave it on low and you leave it. It'll be fine. You just come back and check it. I think this took 8 hours for the both of them, whether in the stove or in the dehydrator. It's easy, it's simple, and I do implore you guys to try it for yourselves. All right. So if you like that smoky flavor, definitely go oven. And if you just like it fresh, just like that, plain, go dehydration. Go dehydrator method, all right? And then you can add salt and whatever else you want to add to this. It's that simple, guys. And there we have it. We have made our own seasonings, and I don't think we're going to go back. Honestly, it's mommy adds it to everything. And I am gonna tell you, our food has been tasting so much better. Yeah, definitely try it. All right, have a good one, and see you at our next video. Bye.